It was late October, and the humid Georgia air still clung to the skin like wet cloth. William Harper, a local historian, had driven down to a forgotten stretch of road just outside of Plains, Georgia, to investigate an old legend. For years, folks around these parts whispered about strange lights in the pines, but no one could ever agree on what they were. Some said it was the ghost of an old Confederate soldier, while others believed it to be the spirit of a lost woman who wandered the woods, her lantern guiding her home. But Harper wasn't one for ghost stories. He was a man of facts, and he had made a career out of unraveling myths. So, when he heard about the Lantern of the Pines, he couldn't resist seeing it for himself. The road was barely a trail now, overgrown with kudzu and underbrush. His truck's headlights barely cut through the thick fog rolling in from the nearby creek. Harper parked his truck by an old, rotting fence post and got out, flashlight in hand. The air was thick with the smell of damp earth and decaying leaves. He set off down the narrow path leading into the woods, the soft crunch of pine needles underfoot the only sound. The moon was just a sliver, barely visible through the dense canopy of ancient trees. As Harper walked deeper into the forest, a strange unease settled over him. The woods felt too quiet, like the land itself was holding its breath. He pressed on, telling himself it was just the isolation getting to him. After all, he was a man of logic. There was nothing in these woods that wasn't of this world. But after walking for what felt like an hour, Harper saw it. Faint at first, just a flicker of light through the trees. He stopped dead in his tracks, heart pounding in his chest. The stories flashed in his mind: the old woman, the Confederate soldier, the countless warnings from the townsfolk. Shaking his head, Harper steadied his breath. Just someone out for a walk, he muttered. Maybe a hunter. But the light didn't move like someone carrying a flashlight. It bobbed slowly, rhythmically, as if swaying with the breeze. And then, as Harper crept closer, he realized something even more unsettling. It made no sound. No footsteps, no rustling of branches, dot, dot. Suddenly, the light vanished, leaving Harper standing in total darkness. He turned his flashlight toward where it had been, but there was nothing, just trees. His heart raced now, that rational part of his brain starting to lose its grip. "Hello," he called out, his voice sounding too loud in the silence. No answer, just the oppressive stillness of the woods. Then, without warning, the light appeared again, this time directly in front of him, no more than 30 feet away. Harper froze. It was closer now, and he could see the shape behind it. It wasn't a lantern at all. It was a figure, a tall, shadowy form, holding what looked like a dimly glowing orb. Without thinking, Harper turned and bolted back down the path. He didn't look back, didn't stop, didn't even breathe until he burst through the tree line and saw his truck. His hands shook as he fumbled for the keys, and he had to slam the door shut twice before it finally latched. The truck roared to life, and he tore down the old road, not daring to look in the rearview mirror. It wasn't until Harper was miles away, the lights of the small town coming into view, that he let himself breathe. His heart still pounded in his chest, but the rational part of his mind was already taking over. Just the imagination, he whispered, just a trick of the light. But as he pulled into his driveway and got out of the truck, something caught his eye. There, on the passenger seat, was a small pine branch, still damp with dew, resting in a neat pile of dirt. Harper stared at it for a long moment, dread creeping back over him. He hadn't left the truck after fleeing the woods. And then, in the distance, just beyond the edge of the pines that bordered his yard, he saw it again, a faint light, bobbing slowly among the TRES. He never went back to the woods again.